look at the illustration and read the text. And again, we know that we need to use both the text and the illustration to find information, but today we're really focusing on what that illustration adds to that. All right, so follow along as I read, and then we're going to go through and we're going to ask all of those questions to help tell us more. It says, crunch, crunch, crunch. His feet sank into the snow. He walked with his toes pointing out like this. He walked with his toes pointing in like that. All right, I'm thinking in my head that I'm going to go back and answer these questions. So I'm looking, what season is it? Well, in my head, I see snow. So I'm thinking it's winter time, right? Yeah. Okay, so it's winter. Where are you? Well, if I'm looking at the picture, it looks like he's outside, probably on a street because I see a stoplight right here. But you know what? We probably can't see the sidewalk or the street because it's covered in those heaping piles of snow. Okay? The next question, how does it feel? Well, I'm from Illinois, and I played in the snow so many times, so I know that snow is really cold, so it probably feels cold, right? Raise your hand if you've ever played in the snow and you know that it feels so cold. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Ready? What can you hear? Well, this is a tricky one because looking at the picture, I don't really see anything around. And I see the stoplight, so maybe I hear cars. But you know what? I'm going to have to go back to the text too and see what does it say. Maybe that gives us more information. But I remember, read this with me. Ready? Crunch, crunch, crunch. That's the sound that he made when he was walking in the snow, making tracks. So what did I hear? I heard the crunch, crunch, crunch of the snow. Okay, a couple more. What do you see? Well, if I'm looking at my illustration, I see, do you remember that vocab word that we talked about yesterday, heaping? Yeah, I see these heaping piles of snow. I see Peter's tracks that he made with his feet. Okay? Oh, and I see Peter. Even though we're focusing on setting today, the story element is the setting, I'm still paying attention to Peter, right? So I see Peter in a snowsuit. He's looking down at the tracks that he made. Okay? And then the last question that we're going to ask today to find out more is, when is it? So in my head, I'm thinking, you know what, Peter's a kid. So, and I see that it's not dark outside, so it's outside in the day, right? Maybe he woke up and he decided that's the first thing he wanted to do is go play in the snow. Okay, so I just used all of these illustrations to add to that text, and I just found out so much more about my setting, okay? You are going to do that today with your story, Peter's chair.